incredibly on a deep physical level. So thank you for that. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the hottest show on the block, Relocating Roommates. Yes, we did it. We kept it going, the alliteration and the theme, but we're taking none of the credit because this one comes from at JestB on Twitter. Thanks for saving the day, because it
Thanks,
was
Just B.
the very last minute before we realized we didn't name the show again. Whoops.
Our heads were completely empty. I think that was the thing. We were just like, we can't
What's
think of
new?
anything else.
Oh,
What's
look, we have
new?
our first listener.
Hello!
Someone's had
Hi.
their Weetabix.
Right? Okay.
The evening Weetabix.
Well, I'm glad you're awake. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, that's funny. It depends what time of the day. If it's 9 p.m., I feel like we're trying to slow our roll slightly. If it's me and you, I don't know if the chaotic energy levels will allow people to wind down for the evening. It'll certainly slap the day out of them. Whatever was on their mind before will have dribbled out so that their minds are empty, like ours. But if you are listening at some point in the world where this is first thing in the morning, you are waking up and choosing violence by tuning into Dan and Phil live on stereo. So thanks for being here.
For sure. Do you want me to paint a mental picture of what I look like currently?
Are you asking
I'm going
me? Because the answer is no. Okay.
So I got this new fluffy white jumper, and I was kind of happy with it. But because it's the same color as my skin, it kind of looks like this is my skin, and my skin is fluffy. Does that make sense? If you're kind of blurring your eyes a bit.
This is what happens when you buy clothes without consulting me first. Which I understand why you wanted to rebel and do that for yourself and have a little moment. But then you bought a flesh-colored jumper, and it's really horrible. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's a lovely fluffy jumper. I think it's very practical on a chilly day like today. But when you wear white, it just makes you look sick.
True.
You look like fluffy Voldemort. But if that's the vibe you're going for, work.
I think Phil flesh colour for outfits is going to be in for 2022. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm out of everything.
I'm preparing for a job interview tomorrow. Please help me. Yeah. Please help me.
You're talking to the guy that publicly shared how he got fired twice for job interviews. To be fair, I got the jobs. I then just lost the jobs. So,
How did you get the job, Dan? And what was your interview like?
Well, one of them was just so desperate that they were like, what do you know about hardware and tools? And I was like, nothing. But can you stack a shelf? And I said yes, and I got hired. And then the other one was that supermarket that is a complete mystery, and I have not named yet, and nobody knows where I worked because for legal reasons, I'm being super vague about the supermarket that I worked at. But that was an online form. So there was absolutely no personality for them to be turned off by. And therefore, I got the job.
That's good. I'd say ask lots of questions. That's always a good thing. Sound inquisitive. Where will I be putting the rodents? Where will I be x-raying the dogs?
What's your passion in life? I just love facing up shelves. I wake up in the morning and I think, I want these products to be lined in a straight line. I don't want there to be dust, and I want all the price tags to be rotated correctly. I live it. I breathe it. I will optimize it. I will research ways to improve your business as I do it. Give me the job. That's what I should have said, age 16.
You could fill in the blanks for shelves to the proton neutron collider in your secret science lab, whatever you're doing as a job.
I love a good proton. Yeah. That's a super rare particle yet to be discovered, but Phil just went there, so that's exciting.
Get on my particle game, Daniel. Oh, we've got one more.
Hi, guys. So,
hi.
How's the dog situation?
Oh my god. Let it go! How's the Dan's emotional resilience situation? It hasn't got any better. You expect me to talk about this and then just like instantly get therapy and work it out? No. God. Speaking of emotional pet issues, though, we had a whole shrimp adventure. God, that was wild.
Oh my god. Right, so we're relocating the shrimp. They're downsizing from a mansion into a slightly smaller mansion because The tank they're in at the moment weighs about 9,000 kilograms. So when we move, we don't want to...
It's like this fish tank that Norman used to live in. It weighs 120 kilograms.
It's crazy.
How can we move that? So, fish died. Great. That means we can yeet all the shrimp delicately and carefully into a tiny shrimp-friendly bowl that then we can... Well, it's not a bowl. It's a fully expensive tank. It's a smaller tank that we can transfer to the new place when it finally gets finished. So Phil was a shrimp cowboy, which was hilarious and upsetting.
Yeah, so I had to catch the shrimp first of all, but then I tried to carry them across the room in a bowl to get into the new tank. And if you've got a mental image of how chaotic that was, your mental image is correct because it was very stressful.
Whatever bizarre Dan and Phil comedy sketch scenario, absolute clown show you're imagining, that's exactly what happened. However, all the shrimp were fine, and now they're vibing in their new house. So Phil could have almost killed multiple organisms, including me, but he didn't. So well done, Phil.
Thank you. I think it was a success.
For your coordination.
They seem very happy as well. They've been scooting around the new tank. It's quite fun to watch them settle in and see what's going on in there.
Scooting and booting, yeah. And also, on the subject of our house and whether we're actually ever going to move into it, we went to visit it the other day, and there was a mystery hole.
Yeah. No one wants a mystery hole.
Mystery hole. We were like, hi, what's that big hole in the wall? And do you know what the builder said? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? It's like, well, didn't you want it here? No, we didn't. What's it for? Well, it has cables in it. Okay, why? Well, we don't know. Who knows then? We don't know. Who knows? Why is there a hole in the wall? And we're like, can we fill the hole in the wall? And they're like, I don't know. What if it's for something important? You tell us if free glory hole, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe, do you know my grandma used to call...
Ooh, what's this segue?
No, she used to call like a little area in her house where she stores all her stuff, a little glory hole.
What?
That's what she said. Anyway,
that must be the actual innocent definition.
No, I think that's what it is.
Ruined just like everything else in society. So well done, Phil's grandma. And anyway, this is why we need homophobia.
She said it when we were in the dining room and we were all sat around at the dinner table, and she was like, "Oh, what did she say?" She said, I've just been filling up my glory hole, and me and my brother we spat our drinks out.
Oh,
we were like,
jeez.
And my mum was like, What are you saying? I was like, never mind.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway.
Jesus. So welcome to... No, you go on.
I was just going to say, if you are in the dark as much as my grandma, just don't look it up. You're fine. It's all good.
Thank you. So welcome to Relocating Roommates with Dan and Phil. You are making the correct choice, clearly, with how to spend your Tuesday. Thank you for continuing to hang out with us as we have nothing to do and nowhere to do it until we are not homeless. So today is Tuesday, and every Tuesday I have an agenda.
Ooh, what's the agenda, Dan? The
thing that I want to talk about today. We don't need to. I'm Dan Gender. Yeah, that's my. Yeah. There we go. Formless blob. I'm actually Dan Gender. We did it.
Yes.
What I want to talk about today is the fact that as an adult, I am a dumb bitch.
Yes, you are.
That's. I don't see. I'm constantly surprised at the things I don't understand about how to function, and not to call shade to the education system or my family, but I am an idiot that is completely unprepared for life. Granted, Phil, I feel like as two weird nerds, we've managed to kind of fail in a good direction accidentally when it comes to being adults. But do you ever just feel like you don't understand anything, and when you were 18, you just plopped into university or wherever the hell you do, and you're just like, well, I actually know nothing? Because that's me, and I still feel like that now.
Yeah, I still feel like that. I feel like there's so much they don't teach you. So is that going to be the topic of conversation? Because I can change it now as you explain what you want people to submit.
I want people to send in, what should they teach you at school? Do you feel like either there is something that ain't on the curriculum that should be to make us all... Oh, fuck off. Fuck you. Right, this is fuck you fucking bitch. The reason The reason this is funny is because I got absolutely roasted in front of all of our friends once. Right. It's pronounced curriculum. It's not curriculum, but like circumference, circumvent, frickin' size. Everything's circumstance. Oh, but it's curriculum. Thanks, English. That makes no sense. Who here wants to abolish English? Me. Thank you very much. Yes,
there we go.
I pronounced that wrong. But much like GIF and Doge, I think I'm right and actually anyone else is wrong. But I am actually wrong. So anyway, what do you think they should teach you in school, either to prepare you for life or to just make all of humanity better? So instead of wasting our time talking about boring crap, we can talk about the real stuff like this. Example, when I was at school, they had these things called PSHE lessons for like half an hour in the morning in our form class. So they weren't proper classes. They're just the thing that you do after registration in the morning. I don't know what it stands for. It's like politics, society, health and eggs or something. And it was a complete piss take. People just didn't listen. People just screaming, throwing crayons at each other, pooing on the walls, polishing their knives. And no one learned about anything. I'm aware that they tried to teach us about stuff, but I'm like, why do we fully spend 6 hours a week learning X, Y, Z? And then as an adult right now, I do not know how to function on any level.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely know what you mean. Like, my example would be laundry. I had no idea how to. There should be an ironing class.
There should be a home class.
Well, no, just ironing. I went to that first job.
You want a full ironing?
I want
course.
A full ironing.
Okay, sure.
I went to that first job interview at SHMW Schmish, and I didn't know how to iron the shirt. I went with the creasiest shirt ever and a big iron burn on my hand because that's the first time I properly tried to iron something. So that's one of the things that they should teach you. Anyway, we've got our first one here.
Oh, let's listen.
Here we go.
Bye.
Well, that's encouraging because I'm there right now. I'm 18 and I don't know what the fuck is going on.
You're so screwed.
No,
you'll be fine. If you ever think Dan and Phil, they're so dumb, but we're still alive, so you might be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you might be fine.
You might be fine. You'll tread water, probably.
Yeah. Well, have you got any other examples, Dan, of your failures?
Following
in
your
life?
one, do you remember my laundromat crisis when I went to university?
Oh, right? Yes.
So my family did not have like a washer dryer, and I did not understand laundry. My family, they just did not prepare me for life in many ways. I knew how to mop, but I did not know how to work this thing. I actually didn't understand how the process of washing and drying clothes really works because I just had a clothes hanger in my garden. So we get to university. I've worn all my clothes for 2 weeks. I walk into the communal laundromat, which, you know, social anxiety-wise is scary. Imagine all of these students just colleging it up, just stood there, doing the drugs, making the outs with each other, just sitting with this laundromat. I walk in, bumbling nerd, like, how do I do this? I put £1 in the machine, open it, put my clothes in, and then I just don't know what to do. And I push all the buttons and it doesn't turn on. And then people start staring at me because it's been like 5 minutes and I'm just like looking really visibly lost trying to mash buttons on this thing. And then I take everything out. People stare at me and they're like, why did this guy just remove all his washing? I go home, have an existential crisis for like 2 hours in the middle of the night. I get a taxi to Phil's apartment and I just asked Phil to wash my clothes.
Yeah. I was like, there's only so many buttons. How could you not make it switch on? He was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
You were like, I don't understand why this is an issue. And I was like, but it's not a simple issue of using a machine. I've had a whole mental breakdown. I'm spiraling. I'm very emotional. And I just need to use your freaking Bosch right now. Can you just wash my freaking trousers? And Phil was like, okay, this guy is having a meltdown. This is very normal.
Yeah. Bish bash bosh. The laundry was so bad pressing that button. You actually just released soil into the drum at university. That's how wrong you press those buttons.
Probably, yes. We have another one.
I'm 19 and I'm scared I'm going to go to jail because I still don't know how to do my taxes.
Oh my God.
No one ever knows.
When you're 18, you're 19, whenever you get your first job, there's a point where you're like, am I supposed supposed to do something. And you only find out when the government sends you this aggressive that's like, you're going to jail, bitch. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. You want a pro tip? I would say get an accountant. There are cheap accountants. There are online accounting services. There are apps. You can try and learn and struggle everything yourself, but it's not worth doing wrong. And I remember me and Phil, we tried to do it ourselves for a couple of years, and we probably wasted loads of money because we were just being idiots. And then we made the choice to not be an idiot. But yeah, God, why don't they tell you anything? It's so hard. Why didn't my parents tell me anything?
Yeah, but also, I'm not going to just put this on the school as well, because the form you have to fill out for taxes is like, have you ever not filled out form 1C in the residence of L? I'm like, what? I don't know what any of these words mean. How do you expect me to understand this? It should just be like, how much do you earn? How much did you spend on Haribo? Okay, give us the money.
Don't they even know how much money you have? So why can't they just do it themselves?
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, come on. If you're going to take
example.
the money, just take it. That is a good one. Let's hear another one.
They should teach us how to grocery shop.
Oh my God, that was me as well.
Oh, Dan. Like, I mean, I don't want to throw Dan under the bus.
My breakdowns.
Can I tell them about the lettuce?
Yeah, go on. You tell it dramatically.
I was like, okay, we're going to make a salad. We're going to do it. We're not going to get a takeaway. This was before...
this one. Stop exposing me.
This was before Deliveroo days. I was like, I know how to make a salad. I can do it. I just don't have a lettuce. So, Dan, can you go get a lettuce, please? So he goes to the shop. He comes back with a cabbage.
A massive raw cabbage.
Oh.
And Phil's expecting a freshly washed iceberg lettuce ready to make a salad with, and I just give him this raw cabbage the size of a pumpkin. And he's like,
do you know...
Who are you? What are you good for? Oh man.
Do you know what this is? Yeah, we didn't have a cabbage salad. I think we just had some toast.
We didn't have a raw cabbage salad. On the second day of university, and I've told this before, but this is just good representation for people, me and all the people I was forced to live with went to the local store that I will not name in case it happens to have any relation to the store that I got fired from. And we were searching for groceries. And in my mind, I was like, yep, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get that. I remember I picked up some pasta, and then I walked down an aisle and I picked up some lettuce. And then I had a big realization all at once that I don't actually know how to keep myself alive. I don't know what I'm supposed to buy to feed myself, what products I might need to clean myself, or just other things. And I cried in the cheese aisle. I silently wept looking at some yogurt. And I phoned my grandma and I was like, how do I cook? And she was like, okay, just buy some ready meals and I'm sure everything will work out fine. And so I did. And let me tell you right now, you can live off Sainsbury's value ramen noodles and bread quite well. Yeah. Because you walk into their little, mini shops and they got the bread, 20p for a loaf. Man cannot live on bread alone. Try it.
Try doing it. That's good. I'm glad you got over that. And you can make a few things now, so you're not completely useless all these years later. Although I think we could have been better if we'd have had some teaching. Because there is home economics at school, and I did have like a cooking class. But that was like, we want 40 students to learn how to make cheese on toast, and there is 2 ovens. And it was just like, how are we meant to do anything with this?
It's not the way to do it. We had that, like home ec, and it was a joke class. It was a meme. We made like a picnic once, and then an omelette, and that was it. Like, they should make you sit down with a goddamn textbook for 6 years and be like, this is a lentil. This is how to boil it. This is how to cook. This is how to work an oven without setting your house on fire or gassing yourself. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I had a lovely time for a couple afternoons making fingerless sandwiches for some frickin' reason. But I didn't learn anything about cooking, and I wasn't taught anything about cooking from my family. Oh, man.
No.
Oh, man.
And there were some classes, this is going to make me sound old, but there was a class at my school. There was a class at There was a class at my school called pneumatics, right? And they might have it still at some people's schools, where the classroom was full of air pipes, and you had to connect to different. And you had to connect different
Victorian era steampunk education.
No,
okay.
It was literally like steampunk class. So there's all these air pipes, and the class was that you had to reconnect different pipes to make the air flow in different directions.
Why is every story from your childhood sound like complete lie?
It's real.
Is up north real? Is your childhood real? Is any story? Oh my god! What is happening?
There was lots of urban legends.
Connect the pipes, Phil.
Yeah, there was the first urban legend that if it might have been true, if you put one of the pipes against your skin, then an air bubble would go into your bloodstream and go to your heart. So everyone was like, "Oh, don't do it." Yeah. And another one that was that one of the teachers once put one of the things up their ass and it made them explode. I don't think either of those was true, but it was an urban legend.
The urban legend of the exploding ass teacher.
Yeah, I was like, if that happened, I'm sure we wouldn't be still in this room doing pipe school.
Right? Honey, this would be a crime scene. The walls would need to be reupholstered. I don't know what to tell you. Why are there always so many dumb urban legends? In my DT class, they were just like, here's a saw. Once someone just killed another person, they just like went crazy and just like killed another person. Or the Bunsen burners, they're like, someone like set themselves on fire, then they died. Or there's always the teacher that goes, "Are you rocking on your chair?" I once saw someone rock on a chair and then they died. Which, to be fair, is true. If you rock on a chair and trip and bang your head, you can die. But teachers love to tell you that death is around every corner for no reason. Yeah,
for sure. Let's hear another one from one of you guys.
They need to teach sign language in schools. The U.S. needs ASL in schools. I don't know what the other countries is, but sign language, please.
Absolutely. Why not? That is it's not only just a good idea. It seems like it should be an obvious idea, right?
Yeah, for sure. That would be amazing if they did that.
I mean, it's so helpful, not just to be inclusive for other people, but just as a life skill in general. I mean, it's just wild. I mean, no offense to German. I do remember quite a lot of German, but it would have been nice to learn sign language.
I would keep the German. I would just remove like how an oxbow lake is formed in a river.
You're going to remove geography. Wow.
Not geography, just
people, places, things, and nature is quaking.
Just maybe the river.
It's not earthquaking because you just cancelled that.
True. That was also good.
Also, we have to give a shout out to our live transcription happening.
Yes, thank you to Louisa, who is currently transcribing the show.
Live.
We put a link in the description for anyone that wants a bit of transcription action. We're just testing it out.
And I really have to apologize categorically to anyone who has to either transcribe anything I say or to just read it with their eyeballs. It's bad enough to listen to it live, but the idea that someone has to interpret my foul nonsense voice or even just see it on a page is really a crime against humanity. So there's that.
I'm already feeling bad about the story I told about my pneumatics class.
God, I was thinking more about your grandma actually. But sure, let's get one more on the topic of why we're all dumb.
How to go to the mechanic without feeling like you want to throw up because you know nothing about cars.
I have never felt gayer in my life than a time where I had to go into a car garage and just be like, my car's slowed down and I don't know why. And I just felt so helpless. Again, is this something that my dad should have done? Or is it something that the school should have taught me? Or my mum. Yeah, I'm just talking about my actual parents, which it turns out neither of which knew anything to tell me. But I am 100% with you. That was awful. It turns out I just run out of gas.
Yeah, just run out of it.
I just run out of gas, and they looked at me like I was the stupidest person that they'd ever seen in their life. They're like, "What? How can't you tell you've run out of gas?" And I was like, "Oh, because the meter has still got a stick in it." And they were like, "Oh yeah, your gas meter is like fully broken. It's like 50% broken. So you've been running on the verge of just coming to a full stop on the motorway at 100 miles an hour for about a year. And I'm like, cool.
Wow.
Very nice.
That's great. It's crazy to me that they learn how to drive in American schools, like driver's ed. They wouldn't trust UK teens behind cars, I don't think.
I'm just speaking for myself. When I was 15, I had one brain cell. Objectively, you might be 15 listening to this, and I genuinely think the average people these days are smarter. That might just be because there's social media and people have conversations and they learn themselves and they get smarter and the world's a better place. But I think objectively, as a 15-year-old, I was just very dumb and just had bad motor skills. And the idea of me driving, no.
That was fun. I feel like we could have continued that topic for the rest of time and would have created the ultimate My Hero Academia school.
We'd have just successfully reshaped all of society for sure. So thank you. That was epic. And it's good to know it's not just me. And to any of the younger people listening, to any of the teens or the young adults now, people in college, one, it's not just you. And two, there's untold horrors in life waiting to ambush you.
For sure. Look forward to them.
Sure.
So I'd like to segue now into a news story that I read. And it's going to be...
Phil, can I just say quickly, why have every show we've ever done, live, radio, YouTube, always has a news segment? Do you just want to be a newscaster?
I feel like I could be a newscaster, and I just like the topic of unusual news in the world. I think the TV news... I think the TV news doesn't cover the weird stuff enough, and I really think this should be its own section. So we're doing that job for you. Anyway,
thank you, Phil.
Today we're going to be talking about what... I'm going to get the question in now so you can think about it. What will
typing and talking.
What will 2071 be like? Just tell us what you think. What's going to be going on? What will be there?
The water.
Yeah, exactly. That could be one that you submit and we'll enjoy.
Great granddaughter will not be alive because of climate change.
Oh my God. That's what they should have sung in this.
That would have been a much worse song for Busted, and I don't think the Jonas Brothers would have covered it.
No. What will 2071 be like? And I'm asking you that question because in the news, in 1969, a lady called... Oh, nice. A lady called Rosa Beckerton found a letter in her...
Glory hole.
Glory hole. I didn't want to say. She found a letter.
Where did she find it? Why is this so
I don't know. It just said she found a letter. I'm trying to add a bit of spice. I don't know where she found it. It might have been in her sock.
You're the first white person to overspice something, Phil.
Spiced. Okay, fine. Listen, she had a letter.
What is happening? Yeah.
Inside the letter was a letter from herself in 1969, which described what she thought the future would be like today.
Okay? Oh my God. Okay, yeah, what did she predict?
Listen to what she said. She said...
I'm ready.
The telephone right now is a square box thing with a receiver on top of it. But now we're in the future. It won't be a telephone anymore. You'll be able to see the people you are talking to, for there is a screen where you can see the people, and it will be like a television.
Queen invented FaceTime, can you believe? That's
or Zoom.
Good. That's great.
Because it was multiple people. That was the main prediction that they got right, and that blew my mind because I was like, they predicted Zoom. They should have invented it, put a patent down. They could be Steve Jobs right now.
Exactly.
The other thing...
Get on that time-traveling stonk game.
Or they could be Apple right now. But she also said... She also said all food would be... Stop laughing. You make me laugh. She said all food would be consumed.
Do you need glasses? Why
can't
you read? Why
I'm reading it
so long to say? Are you all right? Do I need to call the doctor? What is happening? Spit it out.
Listen. She said all food would be consumed.
Listen! What was I doing before? We're all listening. You got 8,000 people listening. Speak.
They want to know. all food will be consumed like chewing gum that you chew and then swallow, so it'll be smaller. That she got wrong.
Well, I don't know. Gross. There's loads of weird, there's loads of like weird diet workout pastes that are like, have your 3 meals a day in the form of this grey sludge. So the technology there, it's just that we enjoy textures in our mouths.
I don't want fries in the form of a tiny chewing gum. I want to chew on that fry. You want them in the form of a crispy carbohydrate rectangle in it. Yeah. So let's see what you think. Here we go. First one.
If they don't get climate change under control, I don't think there will be a 2071.
Boom. You said it.
I think that's true. We are headed towards the inevitable geostorm or whatever that movie was. It's coming.
I mean, as soon as COVID's over, like, I understand that we need a moment to be like, oh, good, everyone's vaccinated. COVID, that was the thing. There's several issues, on the table that society need to address. Globally, climate change, you kind of need to do something. Otherwise, we're all literally going to be on fire, and not just not me.
Exactly. And the pun won't even be good anymore if we're all on fire.
Exactly.
Next one.
I think in 2071, robots will be a sexuality, like an accepted sexuality.
Heck yeah.
So you're saying
definitely
that having sex with a robot, it will just be accepted as like this,
or just
is
a preference.
Oh, just a preference.
Yeah.
So I
so what are you
robots.
into? And it's like, I'm into robots exclusively. Which, when you think about how garbage humans are, in many ways, emotionally and even physically capably, I can see that happening. Yeah, I'm going to sign up for that. Go on, you.
Yeah.
What
are we picturing? A robot that looks like a person, so it's like it might as well be a person, which is I think what they're trying to get to at the moment with these like weird sex robots,
or just Henry the Hoover.
Yeah, are you saying that like the T1000,
the Dyson fan with googly eyes,
that kind of robot would be a sexuality? Like either way, that's an interesting thought. I guess
yes,
I was just going to say, I guess if you did go with a robot, they'd have extra features, wouldn't they? In 50 years, you could like press a button, they do all sorts of things.
Thanks for that, Phil. Yeah, no, I agree fully, and I also think that as society becomes less kink shaming, this won't even be a conversation by then. So I look forward to replacing all pleasure with a USB stick.
Yesterday, I was thinking about how we're gonna have 7G. And because of that, everyone is going to be born with like Shrek ogre antenna things. Like, yeah.
Olive Brine.
Where are you going with Shrek? But then, yes, absolutely. Receivers.
We will be
internet straight into my eyes. I mean,
we will be the 7G.
Our phones are basically that already, because as soon as I put it down, I feel like I've lost some kind of vital organ, and I panic. Yeah. Where's my baby? Oh, it's here. It's back. I'm connected to the universe again. Yeah, I think that when the internet is so instantly fast that there's no loading ever again, and we've all got like Siri in our heads, it'll just be like WALL-E, where we're all just big potato people being foie gras fed entertainment and also space age chewing gum slime. And that sounds all right.
Yeah, the funniest thing about technology is it changes so subtly. You don't notice that we're suddenly in the future with an iPhone.
One day you're doing your Victorian pneumatic steam class.
Yes.
And then suddenly people are calling you a boomer Karen on Instagram.
That's the
Life
thing.
comes at you. Yeah.
You don't see it. So I think in 50 years we won't have really noticed that we're all floating around on our hoverboards or whatever, because it's going to be a subtle introduction to our lives. Yeah, that was quite deep. Next one.
Well, they just taught Spinach how to send emails. So I feel like in the future that we'll be having conversations with Spinach. We'll just be taken over by Spinach.
I love that that's specifically spinach. Like no other plant or vegetable. Spinach.
Is Newt 69240 telling the truth about this Wi-Fi spinach? Or is this a prank?
I mean, why wouldn't you believe it? Also, is Newt 2469 420 Blazer a Pingu Stan account.
I hope so.
And I'm going to say this for the record. Pingu's a little shit.
Yeah.
He needs to protect his mum and stop being such a little bitch, because he really was.
He was.
I'm going to have a public beef with Pingu.
I think you're going to get atted by Pingu. I found it quite stressful to watch. I found it really, really stressful because they were just like peeing all over the floor.
I know.
Yeah.
The hell?
Stop peeing on the floor, Pingu.
Get your life together, Pingu. Spinach.
So, what's your prediction, Dan? What do you think will happen in 50 years?
I have this thing which I'm going to patent, and I'm going to call it Dan's global extremity theory, which is that thanks to the pace of technology and also society and culture developing, thanks to the information age, that everything is going to accelerate positively and negatively at the same time. As we've seen in recent politics, everything can be quite unprecedentedly terrible quite quickly. However, also in the political sense, when we look at the discourse on social media and how all of us have just become so much better people, we're learning things, we're educating each other, we're having conversations that should have had 200 years ago, and all of us are just growing and becoming much better people. The world is becoming exceptionally better and kinder and more inclusive at an alarming rate. These two forces are going to go in a V. So as opposed to humanity slowly trickling, we're going to end up in this kind of inevitable war between good or evil that at some point very soon will become a Black Mirror episode, and then will either be WALL-E or some kind of dystopian horror movie.
Wow. See, you just said all that, and it was so deep. And I was just going to say, you're going to be able to record your dreams. And now I feel like...
That's an example of creepy Black Mirror shit. That's horrible. I dream about some... I don't want to see my fish dying 400 times a week, do I?
No. I like that you're dreaming about that. And I dreamt that there was 8 new fish in the tank last night, which was quite happy.
Fish dream. Guys, stop telling us to get a dog. We're still having fish. What did you have a dream about?
I think it was because of the shrimp relocation drama. But I dreamt that there was 8 new fish, and they were like fluorescent purple. And
wow.
I was like, wow, they're really pretty. But then you were like, we need to get 8 separate tanks for each fish because they're better fish.
Yeah.
So then we were looking for tanks, and then I woke up. So it was kind of it was all right. Yeah.
What does that mean emotionally for both of us? I think that means that much like my theory, we are on a V path and we're fundamentally diverging away from each other, Phil. It seems like I'm in an emotional direction where I need to go live in a remote cabin and work out my emotional abandonment issues, while you are clearly ready to adopt 700 horny hamsters and just breed them on the reg and walk around in a trench coat made of living hamsters actively breeding with each other, shuffling to people on the sly like a man with some stolen Rolexes, except with slightly pee-soaked hamsters actively humping each other and multiplying every 5 minutes. But finally, you found your calling, Phil, the hamster breeder. You have reached peak authenticity. It's your final form. And even though climate change and the technology singularity is threatening to destroy the world, you found ultimate happiness. And that's the future.
Wow. I don't think I can beat that. I think you predicted it completely correctly. I think that was beautiful. Let's get one more from the audience to get rid of my disturbed feeling.
Hi.
Honestly, I'm expecting us to be living in some kind of dystopian universe. Kind of like the Hunger Games or something, with the way the world is going at the moment.
Okay, well, here's Izzy just fully backing me up. But for the purpose of hope, I will say, look at the good things. Be the change you want to see in the world. Look at all the movement. Look at all the growth. Look at all the learning. Look at young people engaging and getting involved in politics, being artists, expressing themselves, living their dreams, and think you can do that. You have the power. You can manifest your own destiny, and we can make everything happy and lovely. And I'm sure that's what's going to happen.
Wow, Dan, that was emotional. I think that's enough of the future. I want to end on that positive note from you. I think that was a good one.
I had a game based on another pun of my name. Do you remember when we did What Would Dan Ban?
Yes.
I got thinking, clearly not very hard, and I want to do Dan the Businessman. where people right now, in about 6 seconds or less, try to pitch me an amazing idea for a business, and I'll decide whether it's a goer or not. Granted, I'm not a big fan of business or capitalism, but it would be fun to hear what crazy ideas you would suggest to change the world. So, Phil, do you want to change it to pitch your business idea?
I'm writing it as we speak. Pitch your business.
What you can just record something and be like cheese-flavored soda, and I'll be like, boom, there we go. Hashtag business.
Hashtag business.
You changed it to hashtag future. Okay, what about you, Phil? Do you have any ideas?
Okay, Dan the businessman.
Yeah,
Let me think.
This is your one shot, bub. Do you want to make it? Pitch. Go. You're in the elevator, and it's time to work the shaft.
Okay. Right. Here's my idea. Wait, I want to hear this person's idea first. I'm still thinking.
Listen to this procrastination. Okay, let's go.
A clothing company that makes only black clothes. Yeah.
Hello, thank you. Finally, I'll be valid. Yes. Well, interesting that you say that should be a business idea. I think that should be the only option in fashion. So I accept your idea. However, I want to technically kind of enforce it like an evil dictator upon the world. So
you're going to remove
pass.
all colour.
You pass, yeah. Go on,
that was
Phil.
A good one. Okay, here we go. It is a sock detector. So it's each sock has a tiny little SIM card, but it's made of wool, and then on your app on your phone where each sock is, and that can be. Thank you, and that can be replaced with any item of clothing because it's a stitchable
no.
SD card.
You have taken the liberty and the initiative to invent wool-based electronics purely for this one product, and only finds socks. And simply based on that, I am in, Phil. Well done. That is amazing. Thank you.
Give
Your
me
mind.
all the cash.
It's a nose sock company, and they're little socks that you put over your nose that keep you warm in the winter.
I love that.
Oh, I love a nose sock. I need that
right now.
My nose gets so cold, and I don't like scarves. Although it's quite helpful. One of the upsides of wearing a mask outside during COVID times is your nose is nice and protected.
But when we no longer have to obscure our mouths, it would be nice to just have like an elephant trunk of fluffy patterned yarn hanging off our face. And if we're all looking slightly like elephants, strangely phallic energy, but very practical and another opportunity to express oneself, I'm in. All right.
Yeah. When COVID goes away, people might not want to be still shaking hands, so you can use your woolly elephant trunk and just tap it against somebody else's, like a high five.
So as opposed to wearing gloves, you think people should slap their nose socks together?
Yes, I would like to do that.
Okay, thank you, Phil.
All right, so we're going to make microwaves that you put water into, and you press a button and it'll make food appear out of thin air. Let's do this, bitch.
Okay, firstly, I don't care what this is based on. I like your energy. You're hired. We need that energy. I don't care if this is a completely disastrous idea that has no basis in science. We're going to do it. We're going to Fire Festival this. We're going to take all their money, and we're not going to give them anything to drink.
Hey,
because we put all the water in the microwave. What?
Can I add another feature to that microwave? What if you could press a button and it made things cold? I know that's a fridge, but what if it's like a fast fridge?
That is the number one invention that life needs. Why can we heat things up and we can't freeze things? Come on, guys. Just do a reverse microwave.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's what I need.
Exactly.
Cactus dildo, cactus dildo, cactus dildo.
Was there a bird in the background at the end of that agreeing with you? What?
Bye. I've had a lovely evening. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I'm really glad I came up with this businessman.
We need one more to replace that.
What was that noise? Are you being chaotic? Are you being chaotic on Dan and Phil's live stream?
It was a bird.
Do you have a parakeet just mouthing off in the background? Did a parakeet send that? Was that some word salad? Did a hyper-intelligent crow just cross the street, mug someone, pick up their phone and just go, "Oh, cactus dildo"?
I think they did. I kind of enjoyed it though.
That's okay. Palate cleanser. I'm not going to acknowledge Phil or the previous question.
A library that is also a cafe and a bakery.
Ooh. Oh,
that's more wholesome.
The soul massage you needed after that nightmare.
Let's all just picture that we're in the book cafe. They've just baked some bread. We've got our favorite story on the go. It's getting to a good bit, and then they bring you just a warm latte and a slice of toast, and give you a little pat on the head and go, "Keep on reading, Buster."
And this is why governments need to fund and support public libraries for all the good they do for the community as a social space, a place of learning, and just to give them warm loaves. Because if Dan, the confused and scared student crying into his Sainsbury's baguette, will tell you, bread is love, bread is life, and together we will find a way into the future. World peace.
Yeah. Well, this has been a really fun show. I've enjoyed
that.
All
Was
your
Tuesday with Dan. Yeah. Look forward to Thursday, which is a game night with Phil, which I think will be perhaps the complete opposite of this experience in an amazing way to help get you through the week. You know the reason why I like Tuesday and Thursdays is because it's like Monday, oh God, and then it's a little something, and then it's Wednesday, and then it's like Thursday, okay, there's a little something, and then it's Friday, and you've got the Friday feeling. You know what I mean? I'm liking it.
To anyone that is new, that has just stumbled across Stereo, make sure to give both of our accounts a follow, because then you'll get a little ding when we go live next, if you forgot. And
you don't want to miss the start. Who knows what the hell's going to come out of our mouths? And also, if you follow until we move house, we are going to give away the stuff that we can't give away to people that don't want it. And you could win things such as
a cube.
You finally did it. After like 5 shows, you did it. Yes, so thank you. Follow us. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I hope you have a chill Wednesday. I hope that everything you want happens for you. And Phil, what would you like to say to get people excited for Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys.